Stellar XLM fans, I've got big news for you that you need to hear. We're also going to talk about XRP price because the Fed is set to make money printer go brr. Also, CEOs out there are talking recession. Peter Schiff thinks strategy is going to go bankrupt, and
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
And you know what? I'm going to be an a-hole and put the big Stellar XLM news at the end so that, yes, Stellar fans, you gotta wait. But before we get into the crypto news, your comments come first. Hot, spicy, naughty, relevant. Maybe I'll share it with everyone at the beginning of the video. GMK Dr. Hound says, hello, Klaus. Greetings from Amsterdam. Well, hello. Videos are good and honest. I only see retarded YouTubers. You are bringing the real info. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Can you tell Brad Garlinghouse to do proper work and don't crawl up into the butts of institutions with helping out the retailers? To be honest with you, Brad's only his only thing he really has to worry about is making sure Ripple, the company, has money. Brad has no affiliation to retail. That's the sad part. Chino BX channel member, thank you for the support, says Ola Klaus. Happy Good Friday from the Boogie Down. Hopefully you get some good news on that bad hoof. Your foot and the White Sox need some divine intervention. The White Sox got crushed by Boston last night. I did go to the doctor to see my foot. I have some nerve damage and some other problems, but, now I'll talk about it more later. Either way, they did some procedure stuff yesterday. I'm in a lot of pain today, baby, but now I'll talk about it more later. Frankie Ortiz says, stacking, picking up another $130 of H-bar today. Well done, Frankie. And how many H-bar fans do I have in the house? Comment H-bar down below. Bitcoin sitting at 85,475. Come on, Easter pump. That's why I got my green background going on. ETH 1605 sold 139, while XRP is at 209. BNB at 589, while 8 is at 62.7. XLM mega news at the end. You better stick around, XLM fans. You're always like, bro, where's the good news? Well, I've got it today, so you better stick around. XRP fans, you're gonna be jealous with this, so you better watch it too. XLM sitting at 24.6. Crypto Biz is the U.S. Fed prepping the money printer. Yo, the Fed has been hinting that they will do whatever they need to keep the liquidity flowing. Why? Because there's recession fears. And we've had several Fed big shots talk about doing whatever they will need to keep things going. U.S. Federal Reserve under JP has developed a reputation for dragging its feet on implementing important policy changes. In fact, remember, the Fed was late to raise rates during the pandemic. The Fed is also late to cut rates. Canada cut rates a lot. Hello, my Canadian viewer friends. Canada, hockey maple syrup Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The European central banks have cut rates 7 times in a row. JP, where the fuck you at, man? However, a top central banker has assured that the Fed is absolutely ready to do whatever it takes to avoid a financial crisis, and they're talking about a recession. Although the long-awaited Fed pivot could still be months away, policymakers appear poised to gradually ease financial conditions, beginning last month when they reduced the redemption cap on treasuries by 80%. By the way, the actual next Fed rate cut appears to be in June. Fed policy experts on a gravitational pull of global markets through U.S. dollar liquidity, which has a direct impact on BTC. In fact, the Fed's impact on crypto has only grown since the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, that's why I bring up the Fed and Fed policy stuff. That's why we cover the FOMC meetings. That's why we try to cover a little bit of CPI data, some PPI data, and some beige book stuff. By the way, maybe you should hit that subscribe button. Maybe the notification bell so you don't miss out, because the players that have been catching that kind of stuff, you've been in the know ahead of others. So we got the Fed. Now let's talk about the business peeps on the other side, the receiving side of it, okay? CEO set recession timeline for 2025. Okay, this is not good for crypto. Crypto likes money cheap, and crypto likes things to grow. The best way to think about crypto is this, okay? If you want crypto to boom, what do you need? You need good flowage of money, right? You need like strip club, like we're balling, like we've got Benzes and Bentleys and all sorts of shit. That's what we want. We don't want to roll around in like Ford Escorts, and I'm not ripping on Ford Escorts, okay? I used to drive a Prius. I liked my Prius. I used to drive a Dodge Neon. I love that car too. It was really good when I had to travel far away. But look, Crypto doesn't like neons. Crypto doesn't like Priuses. We like the big baller cars. An April 2025 survey. Hey, breaking news again. Hit the subscribe button. Which polled 329 CEOs, revealed that 62% of them anticipate a recession or economic slowdown within the next 6 months. Here's why this is big. That is up from 48% who had the same concerns in March. So in 1 month, we had 14% more of CEOs that said, yo, we're going to get a recession. This growing pessimism, detailed in the Chief Executive CEO Confidence Index, stressed the rising fears within corporate America about the economy's trajectory. So what happens is this. If these CEOs out there are like, yo, we're going to have a recession, what do? They slow down their hiring. That's the first thing that these companies do because they can control their payroll. So all of a sudden, if hiring goes down, what happens? Well, you start talking about wages. You start talking about the strength of the economy. If the wages and strength of the economy goes down, what happens? The retail sector goes down. And think of crypto and how much crypto is fueled by retail, right? Yeah. Approximately 75% of the CEOs surveyed indicated that these tariffs would adversely affect their businesses in 2025, with around 2/3 saying they opposed the tariffs. Whoa! So that's why these tariffs are having such a big impact on the market. That's why once we get notifications on what direction we're going to go with the tariffs, specifically the US versus China, we're going to get directions on the markets. Now, I've got a whole bunch of data for you. You see all this up on screen? You see all these cool charts right here? Cool. You see all the stuff? Oh, look, pretty pictures. No jumblies on the screen, ladies. No flapping dogs or, washboard ab bodies. Sorry, I'm not going to take my shirt off. I don't want to make the rest of the men jelly on this channel. Yeah, I am. I admit I'm ripped. I just got to admit it. I am ripped. Yeah, that is a picture of me in the background, all like chiseled and stuff like that. I get it. Look, this is all linked in the description down below, okay? This is all talking about from the CEO's perspective. So we started off from the Fed. We went to the CEOs. Now we're going to go to the wackos perspective. Peter Schiff, okay, says BTC is a fraud and Strategy will go bankrupt. Now here's the deal. Strategy, formerly known as MicroStrategy, lost money 4 quarters in a row. On May 1st of 2025 at 5 p.m. Eastern time, so that's after the markets close, the traditional stock markets close, okay? They're going to have an earnings call. They're going to talk about, hey, did we make money? Did we lose money? Do we have to sell BTC and all that? What happened was Michael Saylor filed an 8K about a week and a half ago. That was a warning to all investors that said, yo, we're running low on cash. We may need to sell BTC in order to pay our bills, in order to pay employees, in order to keep the lights on. So we're going to find that out on May 1st. So like I said, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. Because when that earning call happens, you know I'm going to be bringing you the deets. But this is what Schiff said, okay? Europac chief Peter Schiff conducted an X Spaces podcast on tax day in the U.S., going on a 4-hour-long rant promoting gold and attacking Bitcoin. Now, that being said, gold has gone on a total tear. He said Strategy will go bankrupt over BTC. But if this reserve is psychology, it must be working on Saylor. His company still hasn't stopped racing other firms for more BTC. And what's crazy about this is his company is losing money. Yeah, he keeps raising debt in order to buy more BTC. The idea that its digital gold has been destroyed because it trades nothing like gold. It's just some kind of risk asset. See, you could use gold for making of circuit boards. You can use gold for shielding in components up in space. There's a lot of use cases for gold. And BTC is antiquated technology. So there is a difference there. Now, what's messed up about this is if Strategy goes poopy, it's going to take a whole bunch of shit with it. All right, let's talk XRP price, and then we're going to have mega stellar XLM news that you need to freaking hear. All right, still BTC dominant right now, 18 out of 100. Basically, what does that mean, everyone? BTC's price is holding a little bit stronger than the rest of the market. Volume sucks massive Huang. W-H-A-N-G. Huang. Say it with me. Huang. All right? I'm learning my pronunciation skills. All right? Volume down 25% from Good Friday to 43 billion. This might be the lowest weekend volume we have seen since the Trump election pumperoni. Institutional money, let's take a look at it. Okay, we got some inflows. I'm cool with that. They're little itty bitty inflows, but I'll take just the tip at this point. All right, now let's zoom into XRP price, and then we're going to get into juicy XLM news. XRP fans, you're going to want to see this because this is a threat, all right? Now, look, I told you, I said, hey, what's going to happen is the closer we get to Good Friday, Easter weekend, without news on the tariffs, the more we're going to go sideways, and boom, that's exactly what frickin' happened. So all those knob gobblers, all those doorknob humpers, all those fucking retards, see, there again, I'm working on my enunciation skills, retards, en retard, right? That said, oh my God, $100 XRP by Easter. They're fucking retarded, right? No, that's not going to happen. We need to know what happens with the tariffs first. So you're seeing XRP, honestly, sideways consolidation mode until we find out what's happening with the tariffs. Zooming into the candlesticks is going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Go to the 15-minute and you can see that. Right? Ever since the market's like, oh, okay, so we're not going to get tariff news. We're basically going to hang out between the 210 and 205 mark. Cool. If something bad happens during Easter, we know what's going to happen. It's going to take the market down. Is there going to be good tariff news over the weekend? No, these economic players aren't going to do shit from now till Easter. But if something does happen, I'll share it. So hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. So that's XRP price talk. XRP volume way down, $1.6 billion. This is like the lowest I have seen XRP volume in months, everyone. But it's okay. It's okay. It's Easter weekend. Now, if this was not a holiday weekend, I would be concerned. Now, Stellar XLM fans, XRP fans, HBAR, crypto fans, are you ready for the big announcement? Because this is how Stellar is going to change the game. All right? This news broke. I have to share it with you. I'm sorry, HBAR fans. I'm sorry, XRP fans. Stellar just won. This is why, all right? You want to know melting faces? Here we go. Stellar is going to change the world, and this is how. The Trustline trials have begun. Built on Stellar XLM, powered by Smart Frogs. Welcome to the Brain Frog, a creator community token launcher, a liquidity engine, social impact movement, gifting tokens to... Jesus Christ. Really? We are built on Stellar to do what others can't. Instant gas fee transactions, built-in liquidity from day one, real tools, frog-flavored onboarding. But this is fucking retarded. For real? Like, this is the best shit you can come up with. National Geographic with frog. This is the dumbest ass shit I have ever seen in my life. You wonder why the Stellar chain ain't going nowhere? Because people out there are painting Stellar to be the next biggest thing, and these are the projects that launch from it. Brain Frog. For real, this is like a 10-post thread about how this is the next thing, how this is going to be the biggest thing for Stellar. Let's leap into something better. Comment below with your Stellar address. Quote, tweet this thread to get 888 bonus frog brain trust bullshit. This is so fucking stupid. Oh, but wait, there's more. We're building a community launcher for creators. Oh my God. Are you serious? This is revolutionary. You make the token, we provide instant liquidity via brain fog. Oh, come on. This is so fucking dumb. In fact, this is so freaking dumb. Let me find the end of this fucking post, and I'm going to put down, you are frog-tarded. There. Breaking news. Stellar XLM. Changing the world.
Are you retarded?
And I'm sorry, but that was absolutely real. No, it wasn't some late April Fool's joke, but yeah, look out everyone, because Brain Frog is gonna revolutionize the Stellar chain in the crypto world, and yeah, I look, okay? If you wonder why certain projects aren't banging, it's because they're releasing frickin' gems, pieces of poop like that. Yeah, and you wonder why the community is not excited, because all of a sudden when there's a mega announcement like, oh, we've got something awesome, you see Brain Frog. Really? Brain Frog. That's what you want us to get excited about? That is totally stupid. Now, what's not stupid, though, all right, is these CEOs out there being nervous about a recession. And I totally get it because Jerome's been late to the party. Jerome was late to the party when it came to raising rates, when all of us were sitting here going, Jerome, prices are rising during the pandemic, and we were like, Jerome, you need to cut rates because Canada's cutting, the ECB is cutting, we saw some of our Asian partners cutting, and Jerome's like, no, I'm not cutting you all. And we're like, but Jerome, please, baby, please. And Jerome's like, no, you and your rate cuts. And we were like, oh shit, someone peed in Jerome's Cheerios. And then Trump's like, Jerome, I know more about rates than you. And Jerome's like, oh, I'm not going to cut even longer. And we're like, damn it, Trump and Jerome, stop playing with each other. So that's where we're at right now. All this happening on Easter weekend. And look, that's my promise and guarantee to you. I told you I would bring you the news, whether it's good, bad, happy, or sad, every freaking day of the week, unless there was some sort of emergency. And here I am on Easter weekend bringing you the news. Now, in terms of XRP's price, hey, look, we're holding north of $2. I'm happy with that. I told you I would be cool with that going into Easter. Volume being down, I have no problem with that. Why? Because it's Easter weekend. I can even tell the views are going down because most people are what? Spending time with family. So even though I'm going to be spending time with family, I'm going to be using it as an excuse to hang out with you. Yeah, because my parents are coming over for Easter. Well, they don't fucking watch my videos. So yeah, I'm going to be like, oh, guys, I have to do a video because there's breaking news because Brain Frog is releasing something and I need to cover it because my fans really want to know. Said no one ever, but I'm going to use it as an excuse. Why? Because you know why? Because it's what? Choo-choo bitch is what?